stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood.
Present.
Charles Kostick.
Here.
Dana Isabella. Here. Daniel Bosley.
Here.
James Coffey.
Here.
And I, Katie Colucci, am present.
Resolution 43, accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of January 9th, 2025 be accepted and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Is there anyone seeking public comment this evening?
You mean Gus?
Yeah.
Oh, Jennifer's not here, I will.
Okay. You're welcome to.
Now?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll speak on behalf of PAWS. That's the new group that was formed regarding the tether law, which is the chain dog, and also asking for a 24-hour task force to investigate cruelty. Sheriff Favreau, a year ago, volunteered the Sheriff's Department to respond to emergency cases of cruelty and neglect. A business donated a van to transport animals if they needed to be seized. And we also wanted a registry of animal abusers, known abusers, so that they could not have animals in the future. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. The Clinton County Legislature voted down a public hearing at least 2 times. It was the Republicans on the committee, and so our group PAWS is now trying to defeat the Republicans, since mostly we have the Democratic votes for those issues that I just mentioned. And each town was asked to decide if they wanted a local law or a county law. At the Public Safety Committee meeting, that was last night, D.A. Wiley did ask for, well, anyway, he agreed there needed to be an animal registry, or a registry of animal abusers. And David, Sheriff Favreau, spoke in favor of a county-wide law because he said it's just close to impossible to have every town with its own tether law. It's just too hard to follow up on. I mean, we need one county law. And as I understand it, this board has already decided to go along with a county law. And so that's what we're asking for, your continued support on that.
Appreciate it. I'll fill in some gaps, Betty, knowing that you're having some breathing and stuff and you weren't planning on speaking. Normally I wouldn't comment directly all the time on something, but to be helpful because we have a new board member here. It was actually a number of years ago that during the shared services panel, all the supervisors, Clinton County and the county, we were exploring having countywide dog control as well. One of the reasons that we were advocating for that program was there's a lot of concern about an unarmed person going to homes nowadays, because usually where there's animal abuse, there's domestic
Yes.
violence.
Absolutely.
And other types of things, not always, you know. I
Yeah,
wanna
but
be-
research does show
Yep.
that.
And we had lengthy conversations with the county sheriff's department, and Dave Fabro was more than willing then to, you know, participate in taking over or running some type of program. Unfortunately, that failed the shared services program. It came back up again. The tethering law, the animal abuse, you know, registry, et cetera. When we were canvassed, I expressed that, you know, we certainly would adhere and support a countywide program, because, you know, it's very hard to go from one, adjacent municipality that doesn't have something and over to another. But we have also expressed that we wanted to see how it went through the county through that last round, and if it did demand a town-by-town process to adopt it, we would adopt the universal law, because we don't want to put undue burden on the sheriff's department either, and whatever law the sheriff's department is in support of, in consultation with the animal advocacy groups, that we would support it. So we'll reaffirm that position.
Okay. And I don't know if I mentioned D.A. Wiley was there also,
Yeah.
the public hearing in
Yep.
support of that.
So at this time, I'm going to move forward with resolution.
Did you miss the public portion we raised? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just spoke for cause.
Oh,
Yeah, and we just reaffirmed our position that we would support a dog tethering law and the various programmatic, but I can talk to you offline.
Oh, I was hoping to have literally like 2 minutes, but I'm too late. We came from the Plattsburgh city meeting, so.
Come on up.
Thank you.
We'll
Okay. I'll literally be fast. I brought you a copy of the attorney-approved law from the county. I only made one change to it, so I'll discuss that really quick. Ran through the parking lot, sorry. Okay. My name is Jennifer Jewett, and I've been fighting for a county tether law for the past year. The reason I'm here is I'd like to formally ask you to consider creating a town of Plattsburgh law. Currently, the Ag and Market law says that as long as a dog has food, shelter, and water, you can leave it outside as long as you want, indefinitely. I started this fight because of a dog. Sorry, I need to like breathe. I ran, so. I started this fight because of a dog in Moores that had spent its entire life, 11 years, on a chain out in the middle of a field, 30 yards from a property, and the neighbors complained that there were times when there was no footprints in the snow in the winter for days on end. Dogs can not only freeze to death in this situation, but it causes psychological damage that can lead to an aggressive dog. It then becomes a public safety issue. A dog will become aggressive. Small children can approach a dog not expecting for it to be aggressive, and then get attacked. It also is associated with illegal drug use and sale, use of illegal gambling, illegal firearms, and where there's neglect, it leads to animal abuse. Sorry. When you have animal abuse, it's often associated with domestic abuse as well. The town of Osable has created their own tether law. The village of Champlain, the town of Champlain, Tom Trombley is putting theirs up next Tuesday. He had held out hoping that the county would create a county law. But I'm hoping that you and the city of Plattsburgh will become an example to the rest of the county so that people can see that it works, it is enforceable, and it is not going to turn the world upside down. In fact, the village of Champlain has not had one single complaint, but the fact that it is there when you have a situation, that gives you that relief, that you can do something, because right now, you have to let that animal suffer. That is a supervised tether law. Like I mentioned, approved by the attorney. All I did was change the town of Plattsburgh from the county of Clinton. And I also Supervised tethering means, and these laws are all over the country, that you just have to supervise the dog. It has to be within sight. So if you go to the store, or you go to work, or you go to bed, you can't just leave a dog on a chain for it to just wrap itself around a tree or get attacked by predators. You have to supervise the dog. And it will stop us from seeing dogs tied up all over the county, or all over Plattsburgh. Let's see. It is in the best interest of the town of Plattsburgh. It will improve safety and get rid of that safety issue. And there are currently 320 tether laws in this country, plus, which are in major cities and counties all across the country. And there are 23 statewide laws across the country. The entire state has a tether law. So we are currently decades behind cities and counties all across this country. I recently went to Florida for a month and a half to get away from the county, and the entire way down, every area I was in had a county law in place. You do not see chained dogs anywhere. So we are in an area that's unique to that and just out of date. So I hope you'll consider this, and thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm just going to reaffirm some information, just because you weren't here before, quickly. It was a number of years ago that the town of Plattsburgh actually led an effort to try to transition dog control into the county sheriff's department with the shared services project. Unfortunately, it didn't move forward, but we've very much appreciated Sheriff Favreau's leadership and willingness to take on a number of animal abuse and programs and stuff. We were waiting for a county law, not because we were anti-tether law, but we wanted to make sure that the best law like this, adjoining municipalities, that's part of the problem, is that you can go to one place and you know, so on and so forth, the universalness of it. And we certainly, you know, will be advancing a law. You know, I won't editorialize why we're here today and why we couldn't get it before, but we're here and we're gonna advance it and so on and so forth, okay?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
All right. We'll move forward to resolution 44, the abstract.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 2A-2025 for 2024 in the amount of $82,983.43. Abstract 2A-2025 prepays for 2024 in the amount of $247.41. And number 2A-2025 for 2025 in the amount of $827,760.27. Abstract 2A-2025 prepays for 2025 in the amount of $3,009,698.77. Be received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Leslie? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 45, monthly department reports.
Resolved to receive and place on file the monthly department head reports for the following month of December of 2024 for the following departments: the Buildings and Grounds Department, the Codes and Zoning Department, the Highway Superintendent, Supervisor's Financial Report, the Town Clerk, and the Water and Wastewater have submitted reports for October of 2024, November of 2024, and December of 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Austin, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 46, publish a request for proposals, RFP, intended for professional IT services.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh is seeking proposals from qualified computer and information technology firms to provide professional services for the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas firms offering proposals should be familiar with the infrastructure, hardware, software, programs, and services utilized by the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas the town of Plattsburgh will rank the responses received on an evaluation of certification that your firms provide services to municipal clients, technical skills, experience, and reference information. The town of Plattsburgh reserves the right to reject any or all proposals and to conduct interviews at its sole discretion. Responses must be sealed and marked proposal for computer and information technology services for town offices and received at the town of Plattsburgh by 2 p.m. March 7th of 2025. Additional information regarding this request for proposals may be obtained by calling the town clerk at 562-6830 during business hours Monday through Friday, or go to the town of Plattsburgh website. Now therefore it is resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh does hereby authorize the supervisor to solicit and receive informal bid proposals for computer and information technology services for town offices to to administer and deliver the scope of services, and that the town clerk post notice on the town clerk's bulletin board and post on the town's website. It's further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the town finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Bosley, is there a second?
Second.
Wood, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 47, request to attend the New York APA National Conference.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Planning and Community Development Department staff are required to maintain professional training and development, and whereas it is in the best interest of the town planning and community development department to update technical knowledge and new regulation information regarding comprehensive planning, zoning, complete streets, solar energy, case law, subdivision, and site plan reviews. Now therefore be it resolved that Trevor Cole be allowed to attend the American Planning Association National Planning Conference in 2025, held on March 29th through April 1st of 2025 in Denver, Colorado. It is further resolved that $1,383.21 for lodging, $330 for meals, $785 for registration, $650 for flights, and $351.79 for incidentals be charged to the Planning and Community Development Budget, account number as stated here. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Finance Manager and the Planning and Community Development Department. Okay.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say, all say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Resolution 48, request to purchase rubber plow edge blades for Highway Department.
Whereas it is necessary to maintain equipment for the continued maintenance and improvements of town highways within the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas procedures for purchase of commodities, equipment, or goods and contract values requires the town to solicit price quotes for amounts in excess of $5,000, and whereas Greg Brunel, Highway Superintendent, has solicited prices and is requesting permission to place on order for rubber plow edge blades. And whereas the best quote option for 25 rubber plow edge blades is Taylor Rental for a total of $9,250, therefore be it resolved that the town board approve the purchases as recommended, and that the highway superintendent is hereby authorized to make said purchase. Be it further resolved that payment be made payable from the 2025 highway budget repairs account as stated here, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and the highway superintendent.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Second.
Wood, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Pretty
Aye.
close bidding, anyway.
Resolution 49, resignation of Kenneth Crowninshield as motor equipment operator MEO2 in the Highway Department.
Whereas Mr. Kenneth Crowninshield has submitted a letter of resignation from his position of motor equipment operator MEO2 effective February 7th of 2025, therefore be it resolved that the town of Plattsburgh Town Board, with appreciation for his prior years of service with the town of Plattsburgh Highway Department, accept Mr. Crowninshield's letter of resignation as MEO2. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and be put in his personnel file.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Bosley, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Not getting much notice.
Resolution. Sometimes other opportunities arise.
Yeah.
Resolution 50, playground equipment purchase of the Katyville Recreation Park.
Whereas to maintain the value and safety of playground equipment, the Parks and Recreation Department must upgrade older playground equipment to keep it in proper working order. And whereas Ms. Pangborn is recommending the acceptance of the proposal from Jeffrey Recreation, Inc. for furnishing, delivering, and installing needed playground equipment. And whereas Ms. Pangborn is requesting permission to purchase playground equipment with installation for Katyville Recreation Park in the amount of $159,217 by the Town of Plattsburgh Parks and Recreation Department using Sourcewell contract pricing. Therefore be it resolved that the town board does hereby grant permission to Ms. Pangborn to order said playground equipment from Jeffrey Recreation, Inc., located at 897 Route 910 in Indianola, Pennsylvania. And the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign any related documents required for the purchase. It is further resolved that all related documents relative to the purchase of playground equipment and installation to be made payable from the 2025 park equipment and capital outlay account as stated here. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Ms. Pangborn, Youth Service and Recreation Director, and a copy be given to the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion?
I'd just like to thank Aaron and Jordan for the work on this, and they also worked through the Recreation Advisory Committee, so there was a whole team effort to put it together for the 3 different parks. So.
And this is part of the larger master plan too.
Correct.
Yep.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 51, playground equipment purchase for Wallace Hill Recreation Park.
Whereas to maintain the value and safety of playground equipment, the Parks and Recreation Department must upgrade older playground equipment to keep it in proper working order. And whereas Ms. Pangborn is recommending the acceptance of the proposal from Jeffrey Recreation Inc. for furnishing, delivering, and installing needed playground equipment. And whereas Ms. Pangborn is requesting permission to purchase playground equipment with installation for Wallace Hill Recreation Park in the amount of $75,885 by the Town of Plattsburgh Parks and Recreation Department using sourcewell contract pricing. Therefore be it resolved that the town board does hereby grant permission to Ms. Sanborn to order said playground equipment from Jeffrey Recreation Inc. located at 897 Route 910 in Indianola, Pennsylvania. And the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign any related documents required for the purchase. It is further resolved that all related documents relative to the purchase of playground equipment and installation be made payable from the 2025 park equipment and capital outlay account as stated here. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Ms. Pangborn, the Youth Service and Recreation Director, and a copy be given to the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Postic, Wood, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Resolution 52, playground equipment purchase for Cliff Haven Recreation Park.
Whereas to maintain the value and safety of playground equipment, the Parks and Recreation Department must upgrade older playground equipment to keep it in proper working order. And with Ms. Pangborn is recommending the acceptance of the proposal from Jeffrey Recreation Inc., furnishing, delivering, and installing needed playground equipment. And whereas Ms. Pangborn is requesting permission to purchase playground equipment with installation for Cliff Haven Recreation Park in the amount of $104,317 by the Town of Plattsburgh Parks and Recreation Department using sourcewell contract pricing. Therefore be resolved that the town board does hereby grant permission to Ms. Pangborn to order said playground equipment from Jeffrey Recreation Inc., 897 Route 910 in Indianola, Pennsylvania. And the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign any related documents required for the purchase. It is further resolved that all related documents relative to the purchase of playground equipment and installation to be made payable from the 2025 park equipment and capital outlay account as stated here. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Ms. Pangborn, Youth Service and Recreation Director, and a copy be given to the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, Mosley, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Resolution 53, Hometown Heroes 2025 Banner Award.
Resolution 025-27, authorize the town of Plattsburgh to seek proposals from qualified vendors having experience providing avenue banners for our Hometown Heroes banner program. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh did receive proposals from 2 qualified vendors to provide the required services in connection with the needs identified in the RFP. And where it has been determined that in the best interest of the town and partners to contract with a qualified vendor providing the best value. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Plattsburgh Town Board does hereby select Finney Sports with an address of 7226 State Route 9 North, Plattsburgh, New York, as the vendor for the Hometown Hero banners for a period of 2 years, beginning January 1st of 2025 and ending January 1st of 2027. It be it further resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the agreements for said services. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Planning and Community Development Department and the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Dusk, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Resolution, calling again. All those in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Thank you. Resolution 54, request to attend the New York State Governance Finance Officer Association or GFA conference.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the town that the business office associates remain current and informed concerning the latest trends and best practices in government finance. And whereas training through the New York Government Finance Officers Association is being offered in Albany, New York at the Albany Marriott Hotel from April 2nd to the 4th of 2025. Therefore be resolved that the senior account clerk Titus Jody Seymour and finance manager Jennifer Whitney be approved to attend the New York Government Finance Officers Association conference, and that conference fees are not to exceed $1,360. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Mosley. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Resolution 55, purchase of water meters.
Whereas the resolution 09 of 2-296 authorized the standardization of water reading meters to be Neptune water meters. And whereas Neptune Technology Group has submitted documentation stating TI Sales Inc. is the authorized level 1 certified distributor for Neptune and is the exclusive supplier of Neptune products in the upstate New York market area. And whereas TI Sales Inc. as the authorized level 1 certified distributor for Neptune and the exclusive supplier of Neptune products in the upstate New York market area has submitted price quotations for the year of 2025. Therefore be resolved that the town board approve the purchase as requested and that the water and wastewater director is hereby authorized to make incremental purchases not to exceed the total amount of $25,000 in fiscal year of 2025. Be it further resolved that payment be made payable from the 2025 water and wastewater budget account as stated here, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the water and wastewater department and the budget officer.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I'll second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 56, Store Tech Professional Services.
Whereas it is necessary for the town of Plattsburgh to make upgrades to its current computer operating software, and whereas the town of Plattsburgh has received a quote from StoreTech located at 543 Queensberry Avenue, Suite 5 in Queensberry, New York, for the attached professional services and necessary upgrades. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board does hereby grant permission to make all necessary upgrades with StoreTech for an approximate total of $7,114.09. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and StoreTech.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Austin, is there a second?
Second.
Bill, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 57, December 2024 Budget Amendment.
Whereas the town may need to amend the 2024 budget to reflect changes in revenues and expenditures during the year, and whereas the budget amendments will be offset from the existing fund balance or additional revenues, therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh authorize the following budget amendment as attached. Be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Austin, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 58, resolution approving and authorizing execution of an agreement for the exemption of the assessment services with Clinton County Real Property Tax Services Office to be effective October 1st, 2025.
Whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh, in the interest of economy and efficiency of operation, has investigated and reviewed the functions served by the office of the town assessor, and whereas the county real property tax services offices has the ability to provide assessment services to the town, and whereas section 1537 of real property tax law of the state of New York permits the town board of Plattsburgh to enter into, amend, cancel, and terminate an agreement with the county for appraisal services, exemption services, and assessment services, including the appointment of the person to perform the assessment services. And whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh on December 12th of 2024 adopted a resolution subject to permissive referendum to authorize negotiations in anticipation of executing an agreement with Clinton County pursuant to the provisions of real property tax law 1537 for the Clinton County Real Property Tax Service Office to provide exemption and assessment services to the town of Plattsburgh, including the appointment of the individual to perform the exemption and assessment services to be effective October 1st of 2025, and for the removal and elimination of the performance of exemption and assessment services by the office of the town assessor effective October 1st of 2025. And whereas the 45-day permissive referendum period following the adoption of said resolution expired without the submission of a petition for referendum, and whereas the town and Clinton County have negotiated and proposed an agreement for exemption and assessment services to commence on October 1st of 2025 through December 31st of 2026, and whereas said agreement shall be considered an agreement for the provision of a joint service pursuant to Article 5G of the General Municipal Law, and whereas the town board has reviewed the terms and conditions of the aforesaid agreement and finds the agreement acceptable and in the best interest of the town. And whereas the town board desires to authorize the execution of such agreement between the county and the town, and whereas the approval of the agreement is a type 2 action under seeker, has a matter of routine or continuing agency administration and management, not including new programs or major reordering of priorities that may affect the environment. Now therefore be resolved by the town board of the town of Plattsburgh that the execution and delivery of the agreement providing for the exemption and assessment services effective October 1st of 2025 between the county of Clinton and the town of Plattsburgh by the town of Plattsburgh supervisor is hereby authorized and approved, subject to review by the attorney for the town. And be further resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh that the removal and elimination of exemption and assessment services from the office of town assessor effective as of the close of business on September 30th of 2025 in order for said services to be performed pursuant to the agreement is hereby authorized and approved. And be further resolved that the supervisor and other officers of the town are hereby authorized and empowered to make, execute, and deliver, or cause to be made, executed, and delivered in the name of and on behalf of the town, all such certificates, agreements, documents, and papers, and to take such auctions
That
as
should be
the-
actions.
Thank you. as may be necessary to effectuate and carry out the contents of the foregoing resolutions and the terms and conditions of the agreement. And be it further resolved that the aforesaid resolution shall take effect immediately. The question of the adoption of the foregoing resolution is duly put to vote on roll call, which resulted as follows.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, Isabella, any discussion?
Will we still be able to get the flyovers to get,
Yes, those are separate services.
okay.
I do want to make a couple of quick statements. I apologize if I had a migraine. This resolution is the second component to the first resolution that was adopted last year, and it has been communicated with personnel, the shift and recalibration, so I just want to remind people of that. And I want to thank the county for the collaboration in this new model. I think there's going to be some real benefits to this as we've been communicating to the public, and we'll get some more information out there in the coming days. For the time being, services will still be provided through the physical location here at Town Hall too. So I just want people to know that. The contractual services, there is going to be some cost savings as well. So just a lot of different pieces going on there. And then want to thank Jim for helping to get through this with county legal as well. So there's been a lot of work going to this. So if there's nothing further, I would like to call for a roll call vote on this.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Charles Costick,
Yes.
Dana Isabella,
Yes.
Daniel Bowesley,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes. Resolution is so adopted. I know of no need to have an executive session this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Costick, Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We will adjourn at 6:31 p.m. Drive safe, everyone. It is slick out there.
Are you here tomorrow? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Not on town.
I'll turn this in tomorrow.
I am here tomorrow.